Well, from the beginning, we've emphasized how much we had to improve defensively and rebounding-wise. We're 7-1 when we out-rebound the opponent. So if you're winning 85% of your games when you out-rebound the opponent, you make that a priority. Our guys know that. And from a defensive standpoint, I think we've made some very calculated improvements. But now can we make it consistent? Because what's happening on a regular basis is we're scoring a lot of points, but giving up a lot of points. And if we can play a little better lockdown defense, I think we did that against Clemson. We did it for a good portion of the second half against Wake Forest. But, it's got to be a little more consistent.
Nigel, after one of the games, mentioned emphasizing swarming the lane. Is that something that, how the week progressed? Did you like how they did that?
Well, you look at every opponent and you've got to calculate what's going to work best against this particular team. We're pretty good at defending the three, according to Ken Pom, right? But we're not quite as big as, or maybe even as long or as some of the teams we're playing. So we've got a gang rebound and we've got to swarm players in the paint. We're not tall, so if it's just one-on-one, it's pretty easy to shoot over us. And it doesn't matter if it's a big guy over Norshad who's only about 6'6" or 7", and the other guys he's guarding are 7 foot, 6'10". So we've got to swarm those guys and make them feel like they're surrounded. And the guards who are really quick off the bounce and they get into the paint, they got to feel the same way. And we're getting better at it. Not as good as I think we could be, or hopefully will be in a short period of time.
Jim, I'm sorry, it's a couple minutes late. I want to ask you about Keyshawn. Where did you first hear about him? How did you kind of run across him? And if you could just talk about what attracted you to him and how you think his development is going so far.
All right, so very interestingly, a year ago, September, I got a call from Jonathan Givoni. And he gave me a heads up that there was a player in France that was born and raised in Switzerland that he watched play and thought he had some good potential, even though he was not playing much for the team he was on. We might take a look at him if we're interested in a guard. So we reached out to the young man and his dad, and as it turns out, Bill Courtney, my associate head coach, played against Keyshawn's dad in college. Keyshawn's dad is from Canada, went to St. Francis College of Pennsylvania, played for a friend of mine named Jimmy Barron, and Bill Courtney was a player at Cornell and St. Francis College of Pennsylvania, played Cornell. Bill went to Bucknell, and Bucknell played St. Francis College of Pennsylvania. So as soon as we made contact with the young man and his dad, we hit it off right away. And he was about 6'5", shooting guard, had some ball skills that say, yeah, maybe he can play some point or maybe big enough to play the three. So we offered him a scholarship. We watched video on him, of course, but we didn't go over there. We didn't go to France. Actually, we asked his pro team if we could come over and just watch a practice or two, and they said, absolutely not. We're trying to keep him. So we're your competition. He's going to stay with us and play pro ball here or go to the United States to play college ball. So we invited him in for a visit. We were playing Notre Dame in South Bend a year ago. We played them on New Year's Eve. Keyshawn and his mom and dad flew in on New Year's Eve. We weren't here. We checked him into a hotel, long distance, and then we got back late. Our flight was delayed. We didn't get in until 11 o'clock, so we just called him and said, we'll see you tomorrow on New Year's Day. We picked him up. No students around. The campus is closed, so we just drove him around campus, met with him, talked with him, showed him video, told him what we thought, his potential was. And even back then, we don't know who's returning for sure because of the transfer portal and who might go pro, but we think you would fit in very well with us. He went back, continued to play in France, and he signed with us, and then showed up in July, and he was 6'7". And he was like 6'5", 180. Now he was 6'7", 190. And we put him in the weight program, and by the time basically the team photo was shot in October, he was like 6'8", 200. So from a player's point of view and a coach's point of view, he's already done some things to help his game. He's gotten taller, he's gotten heavier, he's gotten stronger. And we haven't even talked about basketball yet. Then we get on the court and we see he's an effortless shooter. He has great range, he's got a beautiful touch. But the best part is he's really, really smart. He really knows how to play. He's played with older guys for a long time, played in Europe where skills are really emphasized. So he comes as a freshman. He's got a lot to learn because the game is so much faster. So now he's progressed so well. He's playing faster. He's playing stronger. He's playing with more confidence. He's being more aggressive. And I'm still kicking him in the butt to play harder and faster and more aggressively. I had him in my office yesterday working on his dribbling. In my office. But he understood. He's a very good student of the game, and he's just going to continue to get better and better.
During this whole process of recruiting, how much are you hoping, essentially, he doesn't get out there? There's not a lot of hidden prospects out there. Just how worried were you that other teams were going to get involved during this whole time?
Well, other teams did get involved. I know LSU, Illinois, a few other teams got involved. But his schedule, he had games every week. He had practice every day that he didn't have a game. So when he visited us, it was over the New Year's break. All right? Because when we said to him, well, you want to come in? Well, I can't, I got games. Well, you want to come here? No, I'm sorry, we got practice. So I said, well, find me a weekend where you can come. Coach, really, the only time I could come is maybe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I got to get back for practice after that. So we took the chance. We brought him in. The other schools put it off. The whole key, though, for me, was when those other schools said, we'll bring you in after your season is over. Well, when is that? April, May? And I said to them, we can't wait that long. We want you here, but if you're going to wait until May, there are other guys that are going to become available that we're going to need to recruit. Now, we won't recruit them if you're coming. And he said to me, I think in a WhatsApp conversation, you guys know what WhatsApp is?
Yes.
It's an app. It's called What's app. And so I communicated with him and his dad through WhatsApp, and eventually Keyshawn said, yeah, I want to come. And so, well, be sure your parents are okay with that. He did. Talked to the dad. He committed and signed with us in April.
Jim, are those the stories that keep you young, or are they the ones that add the gray hair to you?
No, they're fun. Because, first of all, we had no idea if he was any good. You watch guys on tape, you don't know how good the competition is, you don't really know how tall he is. He's 6'5" or 6'6", well, maybe he's 6'3", So, we basically took a shot and it worked out.
What's the name of the guy you said? Who was the guy that?
Jonathan Givony.
Givony, G-I.
Vony.
Okay.
And he's an NBA scout.
Okay.
So if you go online and look at the NBA mock drafts, I don't know if it's the NBA mock draft or the ESPN mock. Yeah, I don't think it's ESPN. I think it's NBA. He's the architect of the NBA mock draft.
Jim, is he developing to the point where when you're full speed, that you'll have a decision to make in terms of putting him in the starting lineup?
Well, I think you have a decision before every game, depending on how you match up. But I am so confident in my veterans. And I love the progress he's making, and he was doing that coming in off the bench. So whether he starts or he's our sixth man, kind of like Bensley Joseph did last year. Mm-hmm. Everybody said, well, Bensley doesn't start. Yeah, well, check out how many minutes he plays and when he's in the game, because he's vitally important to our success.
But I guess when when you start Bensley and Nigel, you're a little small in the backcourt.
Yeah.
correct? So is that something that will play in your
Yeah,
mind
well,
to develop the team?
as a coach, you always have to manage the minutes,
Right.
how long they're out there together.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to have to do that. Whether Keyshawn starts or comes in off the bench, I have to find time for him to play quality minutes. Whether it's 15, 20, 25, like against Wake Forest, I think he played over 40 minutes. Right?
42. Couple
Well,
more?
when you're looking for the consistency on defense, how much does it help that early on you are getting a lot of these guys into the game, and how much you think later on that'll pay off?
You know, I was really hoping that our defense would have improved more dramatically in November. But it's really taken us until late December before I started to feel like, oh, now I'm seeing what I'd always hoped I would see. It's not as consistent as I would like, but we're showing signs. Having depth is really important. You saw the other day, Benzie got in foul trouble. Norshad sprained his ankle. Nigel sprained his ankle. Well, that means 3 starters are out. You got to have 3 subs to come in and play. And we were able, I would say, kind of survive the first half because those guys came in and worked really hard. But we want to be at full strength. We want to be healthy. Because if we're not almost completely healthy, we're just not nearly as good at either end of the court.
Jim, yesterday, I missed the very beginning here. Yesterday you said that Nigel, it seemed, was unlikely to play, Norchuk was expected to play, and that Wuga was day-to-day. Is that still the status, or has anything changed?
No, I don't think you're quoting me correctly. Please don't put that in the TV, in the Miami Herald.
So what
No,
did you
I
say?
said practice. I didn't know for practice.
Okay,
But now I'm assuming that they're all going to practice today.
okay.
But do you know the expression, if you break down, assume? Well,
No, but
I don't want to assume too much.
I will tell you that my question was direct words.
Yeah.
I have the transcript. Are they 100% and will they be ready to go on Wednesday?
And what did I
And your
say?
answer was, you said that Norchad is like a lion and you expect him to play, I think the exact word, I have it here on the transcript.
Yeah, go check
Expect
the
him to play-
transcript because
I'll tell you the transcript.
no, not now.
Okay.
You get back to me on that.
All right, I have it here, I can send it to you.
Yeah, since
I'll send it to you.
I'm pretty sure I was referring to practice.
I said Wednesday game. So
Yeah,
maybe
but
you
I
just
said, like, just because you said Wednesday doesn't mean I was saying Wednesday. You said Wednesday. I was talking about Monday because that's when I was talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if they would even practice on Monday yet because they were not out of the training room and I hadn't gotten a word from Sam Johnson, our trainer. So I was speaking only what I had knowledge of, which was I'm assuming Norshad will practice because he's a Lion.
Right,
That probably means if he's practicing, what's he going to do on Wednesday? He's going to play. Nigel, I don't know if he's practicing. Wooga, I don't know if he's practicing yet. I got to get the word from Sam. Now, if they practice, I'm assuming they'll play. So let me go further and say, Wooga practiced. Nigel did. Go back to my answer.
One more question?
Yeah, about Buga, how much was he able to do yesterday? So-
He practiced. Well, he went. I don't think he's not 100%. When you sprain an ankle, it doesn't take a day or two or even a week. Sometimes it's 2-3 weeks before it's 100% healthy. But you can tape and support the ankle so that you can basically play. But it's his left ankle. Do I anticipate that if he gets a fast break layup, that he's going to dunk the ball like he did a week ago, 2 weeks ago? No, I don't, because that left ankle is not 100%.